Understanding the technology that powers the money is essential. Knowing the business drivers that inspire how the money is made is crucial. Bridging the gap between the mind of the technologist and the mind of the business is monumental. That is what TBF is all about. Let's start this never-ending conversation. It's time.
Happy Friday. Welcome to another episode of the Tech Behind FinTech. I am your host, Nnamdi Osuagwu, and I'm excited to be here. It's a holiday weekend here in the States, so we will be keeping this episode, I think, somewhat brief. I don't know. We're gonna flow with it. Today's gonna be we're gonna talk about some new stuff, and also came across a really good article around security consolidation in terms of vendor sprawl. So I want to get into that, give my opinion on that, and some takes from the article. And I think that will be the show. To all, if you're traveling this weekend in the States, definitely safe travels. And if you're delayed, sucks for you. Okay, so where do we start? Let's kick some things off. Let's start with some housekeeping first. We are streaming live from Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitch. We also have a live stream going on from Instagram. Shout out to all my guys on Instagram. Thank you for joining. If you have to make comments, if you want to make comments, drop a comment. If you're on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, I'll post it to the screen on Instagram. I'll read it from Instagram, but you go to the website, Tech Behind FinTech, and you can become part of the episode. All right. Without further ado, let's kick this show off, and I'll let everyone get on with their holiday weekend. All right, first news topic of the week. So Robinhood is laying off 7% of its full-time employees. That equates to 150 staff members. It's their third round of layoffs since 2022. It first shed 9% of its workforce in April 2022. And then in August 2022, 23%. So according to an internal memo seen by the Wall Street Journal, Robinhood's CFO, Jason Warnick, writes that the latest job cuts are being made to adjust to volumes and to better align team structures. So that's what's going on there. Let's move on to another article. So Goldman Sachs is reportedly laying off 125 managing directors worldwide. So they're set to cut the MDs, managing directors, MDs across its global operations in a bid to trim its headcount and bring down costs amid a slowdown in deals. The cuts come as deal revenues have dropped more than 40% to 1.2 trillion this year. Goodness. In January, Goldman Sachs laid off more than 3,000 employees, amounting to around 6.5% of its total headcount. And one of the things that could be impacting, they acquired a company for 2.24 billion back in September 21. That was called the Green Sky. Now, although Green Sky has seems to be performing well, given from the CEO, given our current strategic priorities, we may not be the best long-term holder of the business. So they're currently auctioning off Green Sky, but they're not getting the amount that they're looking for. According to sources, KKR, Apollo Global Management, Sixth Street Partners, Warburg Pincus, and Synchrony Bank are among the firms involved in the first rounds of bids. The bank plans to continue negotiations with a smaller group of bidders this week in the hopes of a better price, the source says. Let's move on to ChatGPT. So everybody's been hearing about ChatGPT. You've been using it. It's been extremely useful. Students are cheating on their papers and so forth. Definitely causing headaches to teachers all around the world. But on today's news regarding ChatGPT. Hey, what's up, Alan? Another person just joined Instagram. So ChatGPT is a natural language processing AI tool, right? It's facing a class action lawsuit in California over allegedly scraping private user information from the internet. The lawsuit was filed on June 28th by Clarkson Law Firm. The suit alleges that OpenAI is the parent company of ChatGPT, trained ChatGPT using data collected from millions of social media comments, blog posts, Wikipedia articles, and family recipes without consent of the respective users. Thus, OpenAI violated the copyrights and privacies of millions of internet users. So the 16 named plaintiffs in the case claimed OpenAI legally accessed private information from individuals, interactions with ChatGPT. Let's see what's going on here. The lawsuit also alleges that OpenAI products use stolen private information, including personal identifiable information, PII, from hundreds of millions of internet users, including children of all ages, without their informed consent or knowledge. Microsoft, a major OpenAI investor, is also named as a defendant. Interesting. Thoughts on it? Let's see where this lawsuit goes. It times, law firms do these class action suits, and they're shooting their shot, right? If it goes through and they actually win, it's definitely going to set a precedent. We'll see how these natural large language models. Let's see what happens in the future. So it'll be interesting to see how this case goes. Just more for precedent purposes. Obviously, all this stuff that we're doing and the technology is relatively new, so the use cases currently are unknown. So we'll see how this plays out. And also, if they win, how it changes the information gathering process for ChatGPT and also similar AI tools in that category. Hey, what's up, Kwanda? More friends joining from IG. Okay, let's now move on to the main topic of today's episode. And the main topic is around, wait, what's got me to my screen? My screen's going crazy. Give me a second here. Okay. All right, so let's get into it. So the main topic today, the title of today's show, Streamlining Security, the Power of Vendor Consolidation. All right, so here, let me paint a picture. So first of all, this idea for this particular topic came from a Securities Week's Consolidate Vendors and Products for Better Security news post, blog post. Really good way to think. It sparked the brain. So let's talk about it. Let's use information in their article. Let's have a conversation about it. All right. So you have a situation. You're in a large firm. You're running security. You're head of security, or you're the CISO, or security management. You see certain potential vulnerabilities or certain tools that you need. All of a sudden, you start buying these different tools. Over the years, your list of security tools expand. Better yet, a better scenario, you don't work at this place yet. Your predecessor did it. Now you come in, right? And now you're working in this environment. The tool, so you come in and you're like, wow, you guys have a lot of security tools. So it could be like 30. I think the stat was the average large firm has like 30 security tools or something like that. Now it's like, wow, it's a lot of different tools. How do you keep track of all these things? And your staff is not necessarily a humongous staff. It's probably less than 5 people. So 5 or less, maybe less than 10 or whatever. But you have like 30 different tools. And are you even leveraging all to its best capability? Are they integrating? Are you keeping track of everything? These are some of the questions, right? So it's really good. So some of the things from the article, and when products, when they're not all integrated, so they all work in their own different silos. I've seen this happen before. And one of the things that a point when products aren't designed to work together, security gaps arise that make the organization's prime targets for attacks. So essentially, these are not integrated. You're not getting consistent information, and you're all over the place. So it increases the security gaps. Information overload is another challenge for teams, right? So you're tons of information now is being reported through all these different tools. Are you actually keeping track of everything, especially when they're all separate and not consolidated in one view? Each security tool generates its own alerts. It's difficult to correlate the data and easy to miss essential indicators of cyber attacks. So, one of the things I always say, if this is more something I say to my family when they ask me to do things, right? I say prioritize, because if everything's important, then nothing's important. So now you have a situation with security tools, which you're getting all these alerts. How do you know what takes precedence? What's the priority? How do you do that? So something that could be actually serious could be in the bottom of the pile, and you totally miss that. See if some questions came up. Okay, I'm not seeing any questions right now. All right, with each product operating independently, analysts find it more difficult to share information, effectively coordinate the team's response to a potential incident. Similar to what we just said. So one of the tips now is the first step is to commit to building a platform over time and partnering with vendors that engineer their products with integration automation in mind. So it's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to come and say, I have 30 to 40 different tools, call it vendor sprawl in this organization. I'm new to the organization. So tomorrow, it's not going to be a situation where everything is just in one platform. Obviously, there are going to be certain vendor contracts that you have to adhere to, so you could cancel upon renewal. But the step is to say, okay, this is the direction we want to go, and moving forward, what platform can we use, and how other tools or tools that we have integrate to that platform? How do they work together? So they say ideally organizations should look for ways to consolidate down to 2 or 3 integrated platforms instead of 30 siloed product. The process is a journey that can start by consolidating a platform around endpoint, cloud, or network security. Gartner's survey indicates that 75% of large organizations are actively pursuing a vendor consolidation strategy into a cybersecurity platform for better and faster and more accurate security. It's just a constant pain point, right? It's very frustrating because most of your team members don't know, like they may own the tool, but they might not be fully taking advantage of it because they're not specialized in it, because they're looking at so many other different tools as opposed to having it consolidated from one platform. So now you're not fully taking advantage of this tool that you're spending anywhere from 20 to 100K on. The prices vary on the licenses. So you're not maximizing it. You bought it, it was a new shiny object at the time, and now it's and it has, and the vendors, they sold you, the marketing has sold you all the great things they can do, but to do those great things, you have to actually understand the tool, and it takes time to understand it, right? You have to kind of drill in, but you have so many, it's hard to drill in beyond getting a cursory overview and only doing some basic default things. So you're not really maximizing your spend. And to what the article said, in addition, right, the consolidation aspect, you want to see it from one platform. So now, if you consolidated your around cloud, right? So now you have, and then maybe these tools are leveraging each other's APIs on the platform. So now it's bringing in information. You could have one view, and then you could prioritize the risk and see it differently. So it's just things that are important. I mean, I even think of, I'm thinking of like DevSecOps, and I might do a show on this actually, where you are consolidating different DevSecOps tools around your CI/CD pipeline, as opposed to like you're not running it independently. It's all running through some stream, some platform. I think that's what we want to get to. Okay, Jackie Sweets, thanks for joining. So this was like I said, this show was going to be a quick show today. I wanted to talk about that because I see it a lot. Definitely see it a lot. And it's hard especially in existing larger enterprises, they've been around for a while, they've just started accumulating all of these different tools. Now you have to really go through and audit. Am I maximizing these? Some of these tools have duplicate services, right? And they might be one may do something, similar to another one, but you got convinced to buy it because of this one difference. So there's really things to think about, especially when you start looking at your XDR solutions, your anti-malware solutions, and so forth. Really interesting stuff in general. But like I said earlier, it is a holiday weekend. Oh, always have to do a shout out to our sponsor for this show and all our shows right now, Strategic Generation, offering cybersecurity for sales and partner enablement. It's easier due diligence process, SOC 2 automation, and so forth. You can find them at strategicgeneration.com. All right. That concludes the episode, unless there are some questions, some conversations, comments people want to talk about. I'll take that as a no. So listen, enjoy. If you're in the States, obviously the United States might not apply to you. Enjoy your holiday weekend. And thanks for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. Cheers. We are out.
Understanding the technology that powers the money is essential. Knowing the business drivers that inspire how the money is made is crucial. Bridging the gap between the mind of the technologist and the mind of the business is monumental. That is what TBF is all about. Let's start this never-ending conversation. It's time.